Hello, hello. That's streaming in a sec. Well, we started streaming. Just copying the Zoom. There's a Zoom room. If you want to join live, you're more than welcome to. Just check the YouTube. So we have those like 6,000 graphs. And we're doing a line detection. So this is what we need to do is to detect everything on this graph, essentially digitize it. This is just an image. So we want to extract, we want to determine the type of the chart, then extract the data points. Ideally, we'll also extract the text from it. Well, we kind of have to be able to extract the data. Testing my microphone for a sec. So this was all made for us by ChatGPT. All the code This is what we started today. Just go. Is this scroller not working? Right. We generated the scroller controller that worked okay. And then we have those images being pulled out of folder. Yeah, we had some errors with that, but eventually again ChatGPT was able to sort it for us, which I have to thank GPT for that. Yeah, I had to make the scroller wider. Originally it was only a narrow thing. Yeah, I had to essentially, when regenerating, we would copy the script over and then comment out. So essentially selecting between two versions, the old one, the new one, and comment out whichever changes were made. I think obviously Copilot can probably do it for you automatically, but we just use this because we don't want to pay for it. Well, not yet. I mean, you could try it for free, I think, for a month or so, but then you probably get addicted to it and have to start paying. This way I think is better because you actually have to troubleshoot, and yeah, the more manual the better. So yes, we're updating the images with scroll. Yeah, originally when on loading the tool it would not display anything until you started scrolling, so that prompt solved that. Then yeah, we want to display the original and the modified image. We tried the circle detector, but that didn't work well at all. It didn't detect, had a lot of false positives, so we'll essentially label random places in the image. So maybe there's something wrong in the implementation. We'll have to try again. But what we want to do is we have some procedure at hand. So we need to label first, determine if the chart is a bar chart, and then if it is, then is it horizontal or vertical. Then we have to do dot charts, which we might ignore for now. I don't think they're actually very common. They look like this. So we need to set the priority correctly of what order we do the things in. We are detecting lines at the moment, detecting any line. The next step would be for just detect horizontal, vertical, because most images, most charts will have this. So we want to be able to detect this type of L shape lines. So might as well have it as a separate function. So for axis, we want to detect L. A2 L shape. Lines, and it should be a large. We could try to a two lines a connected in a L shape as a prompt, or just text a large L shape in image. We'll try both, see what we get. The other thing is like, how do we add it into our code? Yeah, so labeling circles didn't work. With the circles, could be handy if we then find them within just find the tag circles within the L shape, which would be the axis. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but you get my point. Yes, the window is scalable and we like it a lot. I don't know, it's a bit jumpy. That's interesting. Yeah, there's some buggy business when you start scaling. Huh? So ideally we would like to keep the aspect ratio. Might be important or not. I don't know. So the rendering on display is one thing, but it's probably happening later anyway. So yeah, combining earlier prompts sometimes sometimes works, times, but not always. Then it was trying to correct things when what you asked for didn't actually work. Yeah, we had a problem with that. Image resize only time of the yes, it was the resizing of the image when changing the size of the window didn't quite work, but it's working okay now. Here we had some error, which GPT was able to solve. Yeah, we had some ugly labels on top of each circle. We got rid of it, but again, the circles were giving a lot of the circle detector was giving a lot of false positives and false negatives. Yeah, combining prompts, circles incorrectly. It wasn't able to do much with that. Yeah, we added the original image as well. So sometimes when you had it to begin with, then it will remove it when you ask for something else. Then you have to probably ask to combine previous prompts. So it does that. Okay. Yeah, we're replacing the circle with a line detector. So that's what we do here. I mean, the circle detector is still there. So we want to find the area for the chart. So how do we do that? So normally, so what we have is a new code and an old code. So here we're asking for a line, a text detection, and it's using an OCR library from Tesseract. I don't know how to pronounce it. So how about, and that we had a lot of trouble with that, mainly the folders, like access to folders and things like that. So how about with text detector? That image label, yeah, it's the same thing as we had before. A second, I'm just bringing the text. We have a text to speech running, but it's not coming into. Let's do it in what's called chat proxy. No, we're using that to generate the text. This window is a Chrome. Okay.
To perform OCR on the image. It converts the image to grayscale, applies any necessary preprocessing steps, such as thresholding or noise removal, and then uses Pytesseract, image underscore to underscore string to extract the text from the image.
Can I just try a different a different GPT to just see what's common? What's the other options? So ask Bing Chat, see what it says. It's also mentioning the Tesseract thing. Yeah, we're having trouble getting it to work. Tesseract is finding templates in pixels, letters, words, and sentences. It uses a two-step approach that calls adaptive recognition. Okay. How do we... Let's start a new chat for a sec. Do a Python text detector in an image.
Make sure to replace path /to/your/image.jpg with the actual path to your image file. The code opens the image, converts it to grayscale, and then uses Tesseract's image underscore to underscore string function to extract the text. Finally, the extracted text is printed to the console. Note that the accuracy of text detection can vary depending on factors like image quality, font, and other noise present in the image. You may need to preprocess the image or fine-tune the OCR parameters for better results, depending on your specific use case.
Let's test it with one of the images. Yeah, select something with, well, any image will do. A copy path. Put it there. We'll need that R in front so it recognizes, yeah, the path. Yeah, we have issues with folders being able to accessing a specific folder. That from right, we'll need this line in it as well. No, it has to be after importing, isn't it? Right, and we have this access permission thing. We've already been through it. Sounds like we'll have to try and fix it. Let's try get the ChatGPT to fix it for us. One sec. Come back in a sec.
The permission error. When error 5, access is denied, error typically occurs when the user running the Python script doesn't have sufficient permissions to access the file or directory. Here are a few steps you can try to resolve this issue. Run the Python script as an administrator. Right-click on your Python script. Select Run as Administrator from the context menu. If prompted, provide administrator credentials. Check the file permissions. Right-click on the file you're trying to access. Select Properties from the context menu. In the Security tab, ensure that your user account has the necessary permissions to access the file. If needed, modify the permissions accordingly. Move the image file to a different location. Copy the image file to a directory where you have right permissions, such as your user folder or the desktop. Update the image path in your Python script to point to the new location. Retry running the script. Temporarily disable antivirus software. In some cases, antivirus software may interfere with file access permissions. Temporarily disable your antivirus software and retry running the script. If the script works without the antivirus software, consider adjusting the antivirus settings to allow access to the file. Check if the file is being used by another process. Make sure the file you're trying to access is not currently opened or used by another program. Close any programs that may have the file open and retry running the script. By following these steps, you should be able to resolve the permission error, when error 5, access is denied, issue.
Oh, sorry for that. Where were we? Yeah, there's a Zoom chat as well if you wanna join in chat live. That would be great. Makes it much more interesting. So the last good script that we had was this thing. We can scroll. We have the 60,000 images that we can scroll through, and this code will show you the original image and the one labeled. Currently, when doing a line detection, we tried a circle detection before. It didn't work quite well. They just commented it out, but change image. Yeah, it used to be here. Anyway, it's Gonski now. Yeah, so essentially have the way we are working with ChatGPT is that we have 3 Python scripts running, and we generating code and then selecting which one works better. The question then is how do we combine things together? That's something I haven't yet figured out. We'll see how we go. So this one is a keeper. We'll keep it as it is. This Python code. Place it in here. I don't remember what that one was. It was something we did yesterday. We probably can get rid of it. Detecting graphs. This still works. Sometimes you need to close this. Right, that one just does the same thing on one of the images without the option to scroll, so we can close that. And this one was detecting, I don't know why it's detecting something else. I don't know why my format document doesn't work. I changed something in the settings and it stopped working. Anyway, now we're trying to get a text detector to do something useful. And sounds like, because the problem is instead of going to the folder and stuff, what? Disable antivirus. A permission and error. Let's just read this quickly.
The permission error. When error 5, access is denied, error typically occurs when the user running the Python script doesn't have sufficient permissions to access the file or directory. Here are a few steps you can try to resolve this issue. Run the Python script as an administrator. Right-click on your Python script. Select Run as Administrator from the context menu. If prompted, provide administrator credentials. Check the file permissions. Right-click on the file you're trying to access. Select Properties from the context menu. In the Security tab, ensure that your user account has the necessary permissions to access the file. If needed, modify the permissions accordingly. Move the image file to a different location. Copy the image file to a directory where you have write permissions, such as your user folder or the desktop. Update the image path in your Python script to point to the new location. Retry running the script. Temporarily disable antivirus software. In some cases, antivirus software may interfere with file access permissions. Temporarily disable your antivirus software and retry running the script. If the script works without the antivirus software, consider adjusting the antivirus settings to allow access to the file. Check if the file is being used by another process. Make sure the file you're trying to access is not currently opened or used by another program. Close any programs that may have the file open and retry running the script. By following these steps, you should be able to resolve the permission error, when error 5, access is denied, issue.
Yeah, I have Copilot disabled. Probably should uninstall it because yes, I'm running Visual Studio Code as administrator. The thing's still giving me an error. Access is denied. Do we have anything specific for Visual Studio Code? Yeah,
Check
we
the
have the
file or
first
directory
one.
permissions. Ensure that the user account running the Python script has appropriate read and write permissions on the file or directory. Right-click on the file or directory, go to Properties, and navigate to the Security tab. Make sure that your user account has the necessary permissions.
I should have the permissions.
Specify an output directory with appropriate permissions. If you're trying to write a file to a specific directory, ensure that the target directory has write permissions for your user account. You can try specifying a different output directory that you have access to. If the issue persists, there might be other factors contributing to the error, such as antivirus software or file system restrictions. In such cases, you may need to consult with your system administrator or IT support for further assistance.
Is it writing? Print text. What's this converting to grayscale? I would have never guessed. I fold the what? Do I need to be in a different folder or something?
If the above steps don't work, you may need to adjust the security settings or permissions for the Visual Studio Code installation folder. Follow these steps. A. Locate the folder where Visual Studio Code is installed on your computer. By default, it is usually located in C Program Files, Microsoft VS Code. D. In the Permissions dialog box, ensure that your user account has the necessary permissions to access and execute files in the Visual Studio Code folder. If your user account is not listed, click on the Add button and add your account with full control permissions.
Okay, well, maybe we need to ask a GPT which has internet access. Why is it writing into that folder? Anyway, that's also a mystery.
Check the file permissions. Ensure that the file you're attempting to access has appropriate read permissions for the user account running VSC. Right-click on the file, select Properties, go to the Security tab, and verify that your user account has the necessary permissions.
Yeah, moving the file to a different location probably be
Move the
like
file to a
more
different
like it.
location. If the file is located in a system-protected directory, such as Program Files or Windows, move it to a different location, such as your user directory or a non-protected folder. This can help bypass any restricted access issues.
I don't think I can just move it.
Run VSC as a different user. Try running Visual Studio Code as a different user account with administrative privileges. Right-click on the VSC shortcut or executable and choose Run as Administrator. Then, provide the credentials for the desired user account and see if the issue persists. Use a virtual environment. Create a virtual environment for your project and install the required dependencies within that environment. This can help isolate the project's dependencies and avoid any conflicts with system-level permissions. Check file locks. Ensure that no other program or process has the file open with exclusive access. Close any other applications that might be accessing the file, such as image editors, before running your code.
Image editors. What upgrading peep? Oop. Do I also need There's some other problem that doesn't seem to be related. Do I need this peel off thing as well? That seems to be installed already. How about an old good Google? Do we need a Py directory?
It turns out that the library was trying to create it at the wrong location, i.e. inside the folder of my Python interpreter instead of the base project directory. I solved the issue by setting the working directory path of my project folder inside the Run Configurations menu of PyCharm. If instead you're using the terminal to run your code, maybe you just need to move inside the project folder before running it.
I have to probably re reinstall something. Run command prompt as administrator. Go into this and try. The same. This folder is wrong, is it? The executable file. There is something wrong.
The error message Tesseract not found error. Tesseract is not installed or it's not in your path indicates that the Tesseract OCR engine is either not installed on your system or not accessible through the system's path environment variable. Install Tesseract OCR engine. Visit the Tesseract GitHub page, https://github.com/tesseract-ocr/tesseract closing parenthesis and download the appropriate installer for your operating system. Install Tesseract on your machine by running the installer and following the installation instructions. Add Tesseract to your path. After installing Tesseract, you need to add its installation directory to your system's path environment variable. This allows your operating system to locate the Tesseract executable when running Python code. The steps to add a directory to the path vary depending on your operating system. Windows. Open the Start menu and search for Environment Variables. Select Edit the System Environment Variables and click on the Environment Variables button. In the System Variables section, scroll down to find the path variable and click on Edit. Add the Tesseract installation directory, e.g., C program files, Tesseract OCR, to the list of paths. Click OK to save the changes.
You a different answer every time. Was it that was?
Tesseract 4 adds a new neural net, LSTM-based OCR engine which is focused on line recognition, but also still supports the legacy Tesseract OCR engine of Tesseract 3 which works by recognizing character patterns. Compatibility with Tesseract 3 is enabled by using the legacy OCR engine mode, OM0. It also needs trained data files which support the legacy engine, for example those from the test data repository. Stefan Weil is the current lead developer. Ray Smith was the lead developer until 2018. The maintainer is Zdenko Podobny. For a list of contributors, see authors and GitHub's log of contributors.
Oh, experts only.
There are two parts to install, the engine itself and the trained data for the languages. Tesseract is available directly from many Linux distributions. The package is generally called Tesseract or Tesseract OCR. Search your distribution's repositories to find it. Packages for over 130 languages and over 35 scripts are also available directly from the Linux distributions. The language trained data packages are called Tesseract OCR lang code and Tesseract OCR script code, where lang code is 3-letter language code and script code is 4-letter script code. Examples: Tesseract OCR Eng, English; Tesseract OCR Era, Arabic; Tesseract OCR Kai Sim, Simplified Chinese; Tesseract OCR. Installer for Windows for Tesseract 3.05, Tesseract 4 and Tesseract 5 are available from Tesseract at UB Mannheim. These include the training tools. Both 32-bit and 64-bit installers are available. An installer for the old version 3.02 is available for Windows from our download page. This includes the English training data. If you want to use another language, download the appropriate training data, unpack it using 7-zip, and copy the trained data file into the test data directory, probably C program files, Tesseract OCR, test data. To access Tesseract OCR from any location, you may have to add the directory where the Tesseract OCR binaries are located to the path variables, probably C program files, Tesseract OCR.
If my computer server explodes, there would be a record, a live stream of how it happened. Yeah. No, English should do. This should be pointing to the executable. We have the executable. Get that line. Okay, we got rid of that error. That's great, but now we have another one. Running it again.
Ensure the Tesseract is installed correctly. Verify the Tesseract OCR is installed on your system and can be accessed from the command line. You can open a terminal or command prompt and run Tesseract version to check if Tesseract is properly installed. Check Tesseract version compatibility. Make sure you are using a compatible version of Tesseract with the PyTesseract library. Some older versions of PyTesseract may not work with newer versions of Tesseract. You can try updating both PyTesseract and Tesseract to their latest versions. Verify the Tesseract executable path. Ensure that you have correctly set the path to the Tesseract executable in your Python script. Double-check the path you provided in the PyTesseract, Tesseract_CMD line and ensure it points to the correct location of the Tesseract executable on your system. Verify the Tesseract executable path. Ensure that you have correctly set the path to the Tesseract executable in your Python script. Double-check the path you provided in the Tesseract, Tesseract_CMD line and ensure it points to the correct location of the Tesseract executable on your system. It appears that there might be an issue with the Tesseract OCR installation or configuration. Here are a few steps you can follow to troubleshoot and resolve the error. Verify Tesseract installation. Confirm that Tesseract OCR is installed on your system correctly. You can do this by opening a terminal or command prompt and running Tesseract version. If Tesseract is not installed or not accessible from the command line, you may need to reinstall it. Check Tesseract executable path. Ensure that the path you provided in your Python script, Tesseract_CMD, is correct and points to the Tesseract executable. You might need to adjust the path based on the installation location of Tesseract on your system. Specify language and other parameters explicitly. You can try explicitly specifying the language and other parameters when calling image underscore to underscore string to avoid any potential conflicts or issues. For example, specify language and other parameters explicitly. You can try explicitly specifying the language and other parameters when calling image underscore to underscore string to avoid any potential conflicts or issues. For example, check Tesseract executable path. Ensure that the path you provided in your Python script, Tesseract underscore CMD, is correct and points to the Tesseract executable. You might need to adjust the path based on the installation location of Tesseract on your system. Verify the image file. Double-check that the image file you are using, example_image.jpg, exists in the correct location and is accessible by your script. Ensure that the path to the image file is correct. Run as administrator. In some cases, running your Python script with administrator privileges might resolve the issue. Right-click on your script and choose Run as administrator to see if it makes a difference. Verify Tesseract executable path. Double-check the path you provided for the Tesseract executable, Pytesseract, Tesseract_CMD. Make sure it points to the correct location where the Tesseract executable is installed on your system. Specify the complete path to the image file. Ensure that you are providing the correct and complete path to the image file in the cv2 imred function. If the image file is not in the same directory as your Python script, provide the full absolute path to the image file. Update Pytesseract. Ensure that you have the latest version of the Pytesseract library installed. You can update it using the following command. Specify the language as a configuration option. Instead of passing the language as a separate argument, you can provide it as a configuration option using the config parameter. Here's an example. In this example, the language is specified as English, LEng, using the config parameter. You can adjust it to the desired language code, e.g., eng, deu, fra, etc. Make sure to provide the correct path to the Tesseract executable in the Pytesseract, Tesseract_CMD line. If the issue persists, please provide more details about your environment, including the versions of Pytesseract and Tesseract OCR you are using, and any additional error messages you encounter. Note that OCR accuracy can vary depending on the image quality, font, and other factors. Adjusting the image preprocessing steps or the Tesseract OCR configuration parameters might be necessary to achieve the desired results.
Looks like I installed. I installed everything. The reason I need to find text is because when doing line or anything else, the text comes up as lines. One sec.
The error message indicates that the PyTesseract module is not installed or cannot be found. To resolve this, you'll need to install the PyTesseract library. Please ensure you have Tesseract OCR installed. PyTesseract is a Python wrapper for the Tesseract OCR engine. Before installing PyTesseract, you need to install Tesseract OCR on your system. You can download it from the official Tesseract repository, https://github.com/tesseract-ocr/tesseract. Follow the installation instructions specific to your operating system. Install the PyTesseract library. Once Tesseract OCR is installed, you can install the PyTesseract library using pip. Open a terminal or command prompt and run the following command. This command will download and install the PyTesseract library from the Python package index, pip. Verify the installation. After the installation is complete, you can verify it by running a simple test script. Create a new Python file and add the following code. Save the file with a py extension, e.g., test.py, and run it using the Python interpreter. If the installation was successful, it should print the version number of Tesseract OCR. If you still encounter any issues or error messages, please provide more information about your environment, including the versions of Python, PyTesseract, and Tesseract OCR you are using, and any additional error messages you receive. Add Tesseract to the path. After installing Tesseract, you need to add its installation directory to the path environment variable. Here's how you can do it. Add Tesseract to the path. After installing Tesseract, you need to add its installation directory to the path environment variable. Here's how you can do it. On Windows, open the Start menu and search for Environment Variables. Select Edit the System Environment Variables. In the System Properties window, click on the Environment Variables button. In the System Variables section, select the Path variable, then click on the Edit button. Click on the New button and add the path to the Tesseract installation directory. It is typically located at C Program Files, Tesseract OCR or a similar location. Click OK to close all the windows. Verify Tesseract installation. Open a new terminal or command prompt and run the following command to verify if Tesseract is accessible from the path. Test PyTesseract. Once Tesseract is properly installed and accessible, you can test the PyTesseract library again by running your text detection script.
Ah, it's finally working. Light installation. This needed to be pointing to the executable. So we got all text in an image. Check, see how well the original image. Yeah, we got 22, 20. Yep. Yep, that's very handy. It didn't get the where's this bit from? Got a few weird bits, but it's better than nothing. It's good. One sec. I forgot my microphone. Let's keep going for a bit. Hopefully someone is asleep already. Can actually do something more useful. Hey, where's my? Yep. So let's go back on this one. Same code, 255. And text detector. Text with an image. Once it's in Python mode, is it in Python mode? Right.
Process the extracted text. Once you have the extracted text, you can further process it according to your requirements. You can perform tasks such as text cleaning, analysis, or integration with other systems. Note that OCR accuracy can vary depending on factors such as image quality, text complexity, and language. You may need to experiment with different preprocessing techniques or adjust OCR parameters to achieve better results.
Will still give me the version. Okay. Why is it so? Converting to grayscale. It seems to be. This. Right, this one did return price. The one did not. I don't know what's that AB. It's actually, so this code is actually better. Great, that one out with done. What's up with the order? There's some more configurations in here. Threshold. Ray. If we do read, this is just a different way of opening the image. Hello, hello, someone joined in. There's a Zoom a room available as well if you want to join in live. So this live stream becomes much better. And it's down for a sec. Right. It's funny because this way seem to be skipping. So if we do just a regular OCR, this will be on a regular image. Um, just different ways of opening an image. Print text. So we're doing it twice. Like this. Right, so we running the algorithm twice. And yeah, interestingly, with more processing, so this is um, less processing and more processing. So with less processing, it was able to which one is which? That's the original image. Scaling is it? Yes, so it's detecting left to right. We have the label once. I don't know where this BIS is coming from. We print the label text. Yeah, this is very interesting. So what do we have so far? No one in Zoom. It's okay to say hello. You're joining live. Um, so this one is a keeper. We're processing images. We have this one. So we have this line detector with image scroller. So we have about 60,000 or so images that we are trying to process. All of them are graphs. We're trying to extract information from them because they're not digital. They just images like you would have in a PDF or printed form if you took an image. So we're doing a line detection with this one. You can scroll through the images, show you the original one and the processed one. And now we're also trying to, I don't know why, this particular algorithm is detecting text as lines, so we're trying to correct for that. And well, we'll need the text out of it anyway. So ideally, we'll have the text. Yeah, we had a lot of errors and problems running one of those tesseract algorithms, which finds text in an image. We also tried early on, we tried the circle detector, but that was all over the shop. It was giving a lot of false positives, false negatives. So we turned that one off. So we need to detect which type of chart that is. So I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty confident if we, in the list is, we have a bar chart and then horizontal, vertical. We need to detect that. Dot charts we will ignore for now. Then we have line charts and scatter plots. So for line charts, if I assuming if we detect any non-horizontal or a vertical lines, it's safe to say that it's a line chart, but we needed not to get triggered by text, which happens quite a bit. We could also search on the right and left and up and above the vertical and horizontal lines because we assume those are the axis of the image. So I don't know why it keeps detecting those as lines. Just the text there. Not sure how to correct that. And yes, in bar charts, you'll have a lot of. So essentially, if you have more than 2 or 3 vertical lines, it's probably safe to assume that it's a vertical bar chart, and same thing for horizontal. If you have more than, say, 2 or 3 horizontal lines, then it's a bar chart. But then we still need to, once we detected the chart type, we also need to extract the information from it. So that's a different story. So here we extracting text from an image, which works more or less okay. And we'll have to improve it. Yeah, it's also all sorts of funny business. The question with text as well, it's whenever it detected it, is it possible? Let's try like the last thing for today is when detecting text, is it possible to detect text in an image and place the digital version of it? And overlay on top, like the digital version of it. Yeah, those prompts have to be made much clearer. Let's see if it gets what we're asking for.
To detect text in an image and overlay it on top, you can use optical character recognition, OCR, techniques along with image processing libraries. Here's a step-by-step approach using Python and the Tesseract OCR library. Perform image preprocessing, optional but can enhance OCR accuracy.
Morphological operations to remove noise. Thresholding to enhance text regions. Perform OCI. OCR, it's okay, overlay the text. Create a copy of the original image. Image copy. Add a bounding box around each detected text region. Right. Display the original image with overlaid text.
By running the above code, you will be able to detect the text in the provided image, draw bounding boxes around each detected text region, and overlay the text on top of the original image. Make sure to replace path / image.jpg with the actual path to your image file.
We'll need to be using that by a Tesseract. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Well, just the names you can pronounce it any way you like. How good is that? Yeah, we need this for it to work. That's the bit we were struggling with before. We need a path to the image. Image path, that's okay. Convert the image to grayscale, maybe. A pre-processing. Oops. This is optional. Keep it there. We need the OCR, of course. Right, and this is the overlay. Detected region, display the original image, yes. Let's show. Name, give it random names for now. Close that. What? Original image, detected text. Okay, detected text. Okay, I meant, okay. It's a good. Reset. Yeah. So it detected text. I meant actually overlaying the. Okay, that's not exactly what I meant. Display the original. Take the text we want to overlay the actual strings, actual text strings strings onto the image. Yes, I think image processing, I assume it's the same. OCR, yes. Right, for the detected text. Maybe we don't need the bounding box, we can remove it later.
In this updated version, the code loops through the detected text regions and overlays each text string on the original image. The text strings are obtained from the OCR results, and the bounding boxes are drawn around the text regions.
Start from graying out. Oh, come on. What? Graying out. The oops, close the previous figure. What? Where's the actual? Don't get it. Didn't find the text. Text data text. What the say? Okay, print out the text first. Wanna see? I'll let the string. Print the text found the image. It's doing the same stuff. Close that. Yeah. Okay, I was doing it before, so I'm not sure what's the output type. What? Okay, after we cleaned up, do this and in the text. Get rid of that. Let's see the raw text. Close this again. Didn't find any text. What? I think we had enough for today. We'll try continuing it another time. I'll check. So there's no one on Zoom. There's no messages. Let me know if there's any questions. Someone is watching, but it's okay not to interact, I guess. I'll see you next time. Probably tomorrow with another tool or video. Bye.